Okay, in this tutorial what we're going to do is create a main menu interface for our game. So I've just have this set up. Click on this. Let's just test this. And here I have just a simple arrangement of a background graphic and some buttons on here. And we just have a basic interactivity there in the shape of hover states, sound, and also can click from one button. I can go into the game itself. Okay, so let's just escape that and let's start building this. Okay, so here we are within the project. This is just a simple first person template and I'm going to create the menu for this. So I have some graphics already loaded in. I'm just going to select all of these by clicking on the first one and shift clicking the last, and we're going to set these up so that Unreal uses them in the correct way. So I'm just going to right click, just go to, where are we? Asset Actions. Down at the bottom we have this bulk edit via property matrix. So this just allows us to alter the properties of all of these at once. So I'm just going to go into the compression, click on this compression settings, pull this menu out so you can see this, and we're going to change this to User Interface 2D RGBA. Okay, click on that. We can just go in to save, and then we can close this down. So these are now set up to be used in the correct way as 2D graphics rather than 3D graphics. So let's go into our content. I'm going to right click and create a new folder, and let's call this UI BP for Blueprint. Let's highlight this, and now we can add a new. Go down to User Interface, and we're going to choose the Widget Blueprint. Let's give this a name. Let's call this Main Menu, and then let's double click on this to go into our user interface. So this is our edit window for our Blueprint widget, and we can do quite a few things in here. We're just going to start out. So we've got two kind of sides to it. We've got the designer and we've got a graph there as well. So let's start off in the designer and let's start bringing this design in. We have a box down the side with all of the things we can bring into here, and there's lots of different options in this as well. We're only going to use a few of these this time. We have the hierarchy, which is everything that we bring in will be shown in this. Over here we have our details, which will show us the properties for anything we have selected. And up here we have general options for things like snapping. We can actually alter the screen size depending on the device that we're working towards. We can choose to fill the screen as well, so I'll just leave these as the defaults. And let's go in and let's bring something into here. So let's first of all click on image and let's drag and drop this in. And you can see this comes over here. So I can go into this, we can just right click and rename. I'm going to call this background image. Okay. So we need to load our image into here. Let's go down. We have on our appearance we have this brush option, and under here we have our image. So if we just click on the button, we can look down and we can choose from our options. This will go through and show all of our options in here, and what I'm looking for is this main menu screen. So this is actually coming here. What we can do with this is we can click on this size to content. Okay. Now we have a thing about the positioning of this, so this will depend on the screen size, so this may alter depending on what screen size it is, and what we really want this to do is to fill our screen. So up here we have our anchors. Go into our anchors, what we want is this one down here. So this, you see these controllers down here, this allows us to fill our screen out. We can also do this by click on this point and we can drag that out as well, and that will snap to the 100%. So that's a similar kind of thing. Okay. What we'll do is just size this out as well. what we need to do, if we can, in the offset left, top, right and bottom, just set all these values to 0, meaning there's no offset from the top, the left, the right and the bottom of all of these. It means that this will fill the screen area. Okay, so that's our first image in. We'll just leave that as it is. So let's start bringing our buttons in. So on the button, click and drag this out. Notice that this is now above our background image in our canvas panel, so this hierarchy is building up. What I am going to do with this is change the Z order of this. So we want our buttons to be above our menu. In fact, actually what I'll do first is I'll just delete this for a second. Just go in, just delete this, because we have a logo to bring in as well. So I'm just going to bring another image. Again, just go over to our brush, image, click down. Let's go down and we should have one called menu logo. There we go. Again, I can size this to content, and I can just position this as we need to position it. This has got an alpha on it, so it's transparent background. So okay, that will do. So now we can bring our buttons in. So let's just bring the button in. Now the button is a slightly different thing. Instead of the brush, what we have is this appearance panel. If I go into the style, we have 3 different sections. We have normal, hovered, pressed, and we also have a 4th one disabled. So in this one I'm just going to go into the normal. And here we have our image again. So let's click on this, and this one we're going to do as a new game. Let's size to content. What I'll do is I'll bring them all in and then we can reposition them as we need to. So with this one, we have a hover stage on this. So let's just go in on our hovered. Go in, let's choose the, let's go down. So we called this, let's just look for B01. Let's go new. Let's try searching for new. There we go. So B01 new game, H for hover. So I already got size to content on, so it should just do its thing. Let's just twirl these up. Pressed. What I'll do with this, I'll just give it a slight colour tint on there. So on our pressed, we're just going to bring in our normal image. So I'm just going to do my new game button 01, but I will colour this. So I'm going to give it a bit of an orange tint. Okay. Let's just okay, I'll do. On the disabled, what we'll do on this one is I'm going to go into the tint. Let's cancel, let's bring in the image again. So let's just bring in a new game. And on the tint, I'm going to set the alpha down. So I'm just going to set this to 0.5 on the alpha. And just OK that. Okay, so that's our first button. Let's bring the others in. So let's bring another button in. And what we could do is I could go into the style, right click, and we could copy. Excuse me. I could click on our new button, right click, and we could paste. So we could paste all those properties in. Size to content. Now we just need to go in and change the graphics on these. So let's just go through. So this one is, say, a resume game. on our pressed. Again, let's just resume game on our hovered. We want this to be resume game H, and on our normal, let's have resume game. So sometimes just a bit of a quicker way to do that. Bring those in. Let's bring another button in. Okay, same thing. I can right click and I can paste. Click on size to content. So with this one, let's do options. That was on the normal one. Okay, hovered. We're going to do options H. The pressed. Let's do options. Obviously, you could make different graphics for all of these stages. I've only made one for the normal state and the hover. Options again. And then finally, bring another button. Again, we can just paste that. Size to content. So with this one, this is my high score. It's my high score H for hovered. My pressed is just my high score again. And then the disabled is just high score. Okay. What we need to do with these is change their Z depth. So with this we have a Z order. What we really want is these to be a different Z order to our image. In fact, what I'm going to do with the logo is set this to Z order of 1. And what I'll do with the buttons is set those to a Z order of 2. Oops. Okay. And then just using Control to multiple select these. I can position these as we need to position them. Okay, so that's the design part of this done. In the next stage, what we'll do is look at creating some animation for these buttons, and then we'll start adding some of the functionality on that. So we'll see that in the next part.